Hey, what is going on, guys? Today's day 2 of trading only the MAD blueprint on account number 1. So we did our Monday, we made our decisions. You kind of saw how things felt today, and as we go through each stock, I'll explain, what is going on. So kind of come Tuesday, right here in the Tuesday column, you only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 decisions, and we'll see how those kind of played out, right? So first one, AMRS, which alerted out today. I sold at 620 for my account 2, but as I promised you, I'm going to trade account 1 exactly to the blueprint. And the blueprint is you're setting up all your trades every evening to auto go. So that's what I'm going to stick with. That's what I promised, and that's what you guys are going to get. So reviewing this chart right away, again, the RSI and CCI just look great. The CCI really jumped up, brought a lot of eyes in. CCI is more so, is it trending, right? So if it's definitely in the green or above 0, it's starting to trend above 100, means it is trending. For how long, that's another story, but this big spike here to 288 shows it's really trending, hence the price action and the volume. So we opened at, what was it, 569, 568, kind of where we left off yesterday, a little bit above, and then ended at 619 today with a high around 630 something, 632 I believe it was. But the Aruna looks good. You can kind of see how the green was crossed over. Now it's right in the 100 line, while the red continues to dive down. I think the red yesterday was in the 20s or 24. But as those become further apart, meaning all the way to 0 and 100, the further they are apart, the higher the price will rise. So again, accumulation, you can kind of see how that slope of that line, the angle of the line got steeper, meaning people bought it up on the ADX. The greens pointed up. CMF, if I was just looking at this chart for the first time, I would buy it. I would definitely watch it tomorrow. The only thing that would get me is this full stochastics. It's over the 80, but that doesn't mean we haven't bought anything before. So let me look at the trend spider. We talked about yesterday it breaking some resistance lines that it should have. So let's see kind of what it's showing us today. So over here on the hour daily versus weekly, and this is just an overlay of the weekly support and resistance trend lines over the daily chart. So the dashed lines are the weeklies, because historical price volume will repeat itself in future trades. So we broke that resistance line yesterday. As you can see, this trend spider kind of drew a circle there, signifying a breakout, and we're up here. So we went up to 619. Again, we talked about yesterday about the key level breaking the 574, 575 mark. It definitely did do that here on this is an hourly chart. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pretty much at the get-go, it broke through the hourly chart of the day, right? All that looked great. So today on the the MAD blueprint. So looking at my Monday, I'm looking at my Tuesday, right? So under the Monday, I'm looking at, did I achieve more than 8%? That one now is at 10%, right? So I can kind of skip ahead. Kind of, if you're looking at Tuesday, look at the second one down called market close with price, 5 to 7% raise, 5 to 7%. So raise your sell limit to 10%. Well, yesterday, it was more of on our watch category. So we have to jump up to the higher category because that one matches us best. And we're going to have 3 options here. Either we're going to set a plus 10% sell order, and if it ends the day with only plus 7 to 9%, then Wednesday, that's your next decision. So this one's already at 10%. I'm going to forward, since this one looks like it's strong and it reached that, I'm going to put in a plus 10%, which is right about, what is that, 620. So I'm going to put a sell in for 620 and have that one go tomorrow morning. All right, so again, it closed at 618, 620. If it goes beyond that, I'm not worried because I'm locking in my profits and I'm lucky to get 10%. AREX, again, this one yesterday kind of turned down on the CCI and RSI, but today, as you see, it turned up. We got this one at 244, so right about almost 5%, or actually we're a little over 5%. The Arun looks good, so when this green line down here on the floor kind of hits 0, potentially as the red comes down, they should jump up and cross over. And everything's looking good. So right now, since we are over 5%, let's look at it on the trend spider. Now I'm kind of speaking fast. I don't want this to be lengthy. I want you guys to just be able to watch it, get it, and go through it. Plus it takes forever to upload on YouTube, and I want to get this to you guys before 9 as promised. Let's see. How come it's not loading? Alright, well it's not loading on that one, but that's okay. Let's go to the MAD blueprint. Kind of the same thing on Tuesday, and market closed with yesterday. This was more of a one-on watch, right? Where we're just watching it. So now we're going to jump up since this one's in the positive and that decision, you know, relates with us. Market close with price 5 to 7%, raise sell limit to 10%. So I'm going to raise my sell limit. I'm going to put a limit sell in for 10% on this one. If it hits 10%, great. If not, come Wednesday, if you look under Wednesday, the second one down, market closed with only 7 to 9%. And then it's, you know, tells me to raise my sell limit because it's kind of still floating in there and we're getting towards the end of the week. At this point, you can either choose to go with that at 12 to 5%, or you can just go with the line next to it and 10 to 12%. So, you know, that's kind of just going with the progress of the market. And, you know, if you always want to lock in profits, you can always do that. But again, we're trading by the blueprint this week. TLGT, we got this one at 373. The RSI and CCI, you know, they just kind of went down below the 100. Doesn't mean this one's not a good one, but we do need to just make sure we do our risk mitigation and do what we need to do if we need to get out of this one. Went down to 371, had a long leg down here, right below 350, but then it also came back up. So you can kind of see the entry, or the open today was about 370, and the close today was 371. Even though I had that long wick down, the open and close are pretty much the same. So a lot of people found value in this up in the 371. So that tells me, even though I'm like less than negative 1% down, this is going to stay in my watch, and I'm going to see how it reacts tomorrow. 1, because of that pattern, and 2, because the MAD blueprint says so. Again, still room to accumulate a little bit here. Everything else is just kind of looking mediocre. Let me see if this is working now. Let me actually just refresh it. Maybe that'll help me out. There we go. Come on. All right, let's zoom in here. So it's Monday, it bounced off the support line, or the resistance line. Today it went down to, or almost to, it's hard to tell, but it bounced off the support and bounced back up. So we should see a rise tomorrow. Maybe 385 as a high, potentially. Could put a sell order in just to be safe. I'm down here on the hourly. So we see how it dipped, bounced off the support, same 347, kind of rose up and kind of went flat at the end of the day. So this one's a definitely watch tomorrow. Going to the MAD blueprint. You know, we're going to kind of go down here. We had it on watch yesterday. It's still, if you look between Monday and Tuesday, 0% to negative 3%. So it's still on watch. Make sure we have our alerts set. So this one's we're going to just keep an eye on. NVAX, RSI, CCI are down. Doesn't look like it's happening. It's at 148, right there, about the 5%. But again, you can kind of see here on the Arun that green turned up and the red's at the top. So this one again will be on watch. A lot of room to accumulate. On the ADX line, the red is up, which is not a good sign. So I will probably, this one's really dang close to the negative 5%. Actually, let's look at the Trend Spider, I know this probably yesterday was still running flat, and it probably still is today, considering the market. All right. So this one's still going down here with the support line at 142. It's headed for it. Same thing here on the hourly. Trying to reach this 142 support. Stopped out about 144 and rose back up to about 148. So I'm going to put my negative 5% stop loss in. So again, yesterday, this one was on watch. It went more than 5%, so I'm going to come down here to the almost to the bottom where it says on watch. We're going to set our alerts and then kind of see what it does tomorrow. PLUG. Again, yesterday the RSI CCI are kind of turned down. Today they're turned up. End of the day at 203. We got in at 201 on this one, so this one again is going to be another watch. But again, powerful on their rune. This rune down here is on green's on 4 and the red's coming down, which is we still have till Friday, guys. That's why your risk management is important. You want to manage your risk every day. And keep an eye on these quick 5, 10, 15 minutes, 20, 30 minutes. If you're new, you don't have your process down. However, the one thing I really like about this, there's room to accumulate, but you can see the check and money flow still has been increasing. So there still has been people buying in the upper end, hence why we have the 203 mark. But you can kind of see these past few days here on the chart, it kind of stopped out at 203. Well, let's look at the trend spider and see, if it's hitting a certain resistance and or support. More so resistance than support on this case. And indeed it is hitting some resistance right here about 203, 204. Hit 204, bounce down, and 203. But it looks like it's still been slowly trending up in this one, so we need to watch for tomorrow if it's going to break through that. If it breaks through that, if not, this looks like it might be following this down, and we have to, just watch our risk mitigation on that one, on this one. Again, same thing here on the hourly. It's kind of right in this 204 trend line, so we want to just keep an eye. If it's breaking 204, that's a good sign. If not, maybe squeeze out a 1% gain out of this one, or keep riding it till Friday and keep mitigating your risk on this one. So this one would fall under to today, or yesterday was on watch. I mean, it did gain 1%. The MAD blueprint says set sell limit 4 plus 5%. So you can kind of see on Tuesday we had this superscript 4, this little 4 up here, and down here at the bottom it says, and this is part of your risk mitigation plan. At any time the stock reverses, mitigate loss to a gain of 1 to 3% depending on where your stock is, or no less than 5%. So I mean, it'd have to have a total reversal, for you to really pull that trigger and get rid of it. Like it tanked down or something happened, but you want to mitigate your loss, and that's why you want to always have your alerts set regardless. BTX, this one was right at like negative 4.8% yesterday. I mean, the RSI looks a little back, and the CCI, kind of went down still. We had a end of the day at 223. What did we have this one bought in at? BTX. BTX, we got in at 231. Here we go. Sorry about that. So we did get in at 231. Today it ended at 223. We're about still negative 3.5% here. So we'll be watching this one and try to mitigate any risk on this one. So keep an eye out for BTX. We can see here on the daily versus weekly, looking like it wants to go down to the support line at 210. But with a 231 buy, we're not going to let this one go below 220. So it comes out to like 219 and 40.4, 2.1945. I'm rounding up. I don't want to round down and lose a little more than I have to, so I'm going to say 220 is my cutoff point, and I'm going to put a stop loss in. That would be indicative of this. Again, it was on the down yesterday. Stop loss didn't trigger, so we're going to continue on having a stop loss for this one. That's it, guys. Hope this is helpful. Look forward to day 3 tomorrow. AREX again we have some for AREX and AMRS. We have some sells that are set to sell tomorrow. They're set up already in my trade, so it's a limit sell 4 plus 10%. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. Come Wednesday, I'll go here. Did I sell for 10%? Yes. Check that one off, or hopefully check both of them off. And now same process with the remaining 4 stocks if we sold both. So again, guys, hope this was helpful. Please leave a comment in the Telegram group if you guys liked it and found it beneficial. And again, it'll be posted to the member area as well as an example of how to use the blueprint. Thanks, guys.